Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Hope you guys are having a great day today. In today's video, we have landed on Jaina in our A through Z playthrough. Hope you guys are looking forward to this one. In my opinion, one of the best reworks that we received in the past year, but also one of the most simple. It was a very subtle change that I think elevated Jaina to being one of the best heroes in the game. And we're going to be talking about that in today's video.
Vanquish the weak.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on Blackheart's Bay today. I have a lot to say about this rework, even though it was very minor. It was a small change that had a massive impact. The friendly team today: Probius, Varian, Stitches, Jaina, Valeria. The enemy team: Cassia, Zeratul, Junkrat, Garrosh, and Nazi. Man, I fucking hate Garrosh. I really do. Alright, so I think we are going to be rotating mid and top. We're going to get as many region globes as we can for our Fingers of Frost talent. Now, this is a new talent. Last year, we had Conjurer's Pursuit in this slot. Conjurer's Pursuit just gave us mana back. Fingers of Frost gives us mana back and also gives us 10% damage increase after we complete the quest. God, Probius is going to have a hard time this game, I feel like. He's going to have a real hard time this game. Look out, big guy! Look out! They're coming in from everywhere! So, we find ourselves in a position where I can get some easy damage in here versus the enemy team, so I'm going to try to do that as much as possible. The reason for that is because we have a new addition to our trait. But in order to fully appreciate how fucking amazing our new trait is, you need to understand the journey that Jaina went on as a character. Jaina originally, when she was added into the game, I believe this was back in 2014, at BlizzCon, actually. She was one of the BlizzCon heroes that year. I believe when she was added into the game, I'm so dead. She came out at the same time as Thrall, at the same time as the Lost Vikings, and maybe one other hero. I think that may have been it. But she had a talent build that was very similar to what other heroes in the game had at the time. She had her unique, Frost Mage things, but she also had the staples of what every hero had options of, which was generic talents like Conjurer's Pursuit, for instance, which was just phased out. Talents like Sprint, Ice Block, Bolt of the Storm. But those kinds of abilities are incredibly strong in a character who, from the foundation up, is able to slow targets down extremely effectively. Being able to slow a target by 25% for 4 seconds, which is what all of our basic abilities do, and then giving yourself a 40% increased movement speed, and then giving yourself the ability to blink half a screen away, and then giving yourself Ice Block, which makes you immune to damage, just means that what you have is a character that can run away from everything, but then is not punished for making mistakes, because if she does happen to make a mistake, she just uses one of those 3 cooldowns to get away even more. It was to the point where she had so much control over the battlefield that good Jaina players could dominate everything, and bad Jaina players were never punished for anything that they did wrong, which I think is a pretty big problem. And what we saw over time was a character's base. Oh, I thought you were jumping it. Go ahead, Vorpal Blade back in. Vorpal Blade back in, you motherfucker. What we saw was all of these things. I mean, every hero had, or a lot of warriors had Sprint. A lot of characters in general had Sprint at the time. But we saw those things being phased away from Jaina before we kind of saw them phased away from the rest of the game. And then what we see coming to Jaina at Gamescom this year is what I really hope we start to see more in our other hero design. We gain a quest at level 1. This is a baseline quest tied to our trait. All we have to do is deal damage to enemies that have our trait on them, that have that slow, that are able to take increased damage from other frost effects. And if we're dealing damage to them, we are increasing our damage tracker over here on the quest, which means that at the end of the quest, once we deal 15,000 damage, we gain access to Ice Block. Now, Ice Block originally, I think, was a level 13 quest, or a level 13 talent. It did contend with Sprint as a talent. You couldn't have both, I think. I want to say that's true. But eventually, Blizzard decided that, you know, Ice Block's so strong, we're just going to move it to level 20. It's going to be your most valuable talent. It's how you survive through everything now. I think they turned that dial a little too much in the other direction. You know what I mean? It was at the point where Jaina could survive through everything all the time. Then they made it that it was really, really difficult for Jaina to survive through just about anything. Because Ice Block, one of her fundamental cooldowns, one of the things that every Frost Mage should have, was pushed off so late into the game. What's our variant even talking about? Guys, help, come on. Yeah, I'm soaking XP, man. I'm doing the double soak life. This is what it looks like. Then again, I mean, I'm not the only person on the team. So it was just a little too much, right? They went a little too far. And I think adding that, you know, one of the key things it means to be a Frost Mage, adding that in as a part of your base kit, but giving you that incentive to play well in order to earn it, and to earn it faster than what other Jainas may be capable of doing, is phenomenal. It's a small change. It's a very, very small change. But it adds so much depth to her gameplay, and it makes her such a better character just by having this quest available from the beginning of the game and allowing you to unlock it. Now, it is better in certain situations than it is in others. So, for instance, if we were going against a team with a heavy front line, lots of warriors, lots of people doing stuff all the time, then it would be a bit better for us to team fight in that situation. What we have right now is we're going against a team where I'm incentivized a little bit more to kind of team fight soak XP constantly and not team fight. Because I don't know if you noticed, I was getting all of our XP in these two lanes in the beginning of the game. So I haven't been able to progress my Ice Block quest very much at all, which feels kind of shitty, but I'm still able, because of her baseline kit, to kind of fill that role as our very, very fast lane clear. I just kind of suffer in other areas because of it. You know what I mean? I have to kind of actively make a choice to say, all right, I'm not going to team fight. I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to soak XP to the best of my ability. I know it's hurting me in the long run, but hey, maybe after we start team fighting, I'll be able to generate a pretty decent amount of damage. Can one person guard me while I boss? Oh, it's a Twin Blades variant. It's a Twin Blades variant. Okay. We also have another change that I really, really like to Jaina. Her W ability, her Blizzard, I think is one of her best abilities. It's a very, very low cooldown, but it's very impactful. Last year, we saw Blizzard get its kind of the fundamental way that it works changed a little bit. Yes, it always throws waves of frost down onto the ground, but don't let me get ganked. You might want to move out of the stuns. You might want to worry about the typing rather than worry about the ganking. But it used to do 2 waves of frost. Now it does 3 waves, so it does impact 3 times. We see a new change to that this year, though. We have a new talent at level 7 called Ice Fury Wand. And Ice Fury Wand allows us to auto-attack chilled targets. So again, incentivizing us to use our trait, the core of what makes Jaina Jaina, that trait, being able to deal bonus damage to already chilled targets. We have to use that, but it brings back the incentive to auto-attack, because when everything was getting removed from Jaina piece by piece by piece, one of the things that they nerfed was just her auto-attack damage, which left Jaina in a situation where she had very long cooldowns, 10 seconds on her E, 15 on her W. 15 seconds is a long fucking time, boys. And that meant that a lot of the game you were just kind of sitting around idle. What the fuck is our team doing? You were sitting around idle, right? If you dropped all of your damage on one target, you were just kind of like, all right, I guess I'll hit him with a Q soon. So over time, as these changes were happening, players started to kind of go in the direction of building for nothing but her Q. It increases your Q range. It allows her Q to pierce through targets. And it kind of pigeonholed Jaina into this spot where she had one build that everyone was doing, because it was the one build that could do the most consistent DPS. It was the one build that you could do where you weren't really punished for missing your Frostbolt that much, and you could just continue to cast your Q over and over. And if someone got close, that's when you started to worry about your other abilities. You played as like a backline artillery mage, where I think her intention is to be a frontline, like, kind of a brawler, like, not like Greymane, right? We do have similar attack ranges to Greymane. But we're not meant to play the game like Greymane. What we're meant to do is like get in close and deal damage. I fucking hate you, Garrosh. God damn it, you're a piece of shit. Get in close, deal a lot of burst damage, and then go back to safety and kind of wait for the dust to settle. To me, that's how Jaina was intended to be played. And we kind of got away from that for a while. I should have picked a talent too. I guess we'll go Icy Veins. We'll get cooldown reduction. I guess we're gonna have a lot of keys at the end of the game. But because her auto attack damage was nerfed, she had all of those talents that allowed her to get away from things were removed. That put her in a situation where everyone was just casting Qs, and there was no real danger in a Q build. But one variant, help, please. One thing that was added was this Ice Fury wand, which gave her auto attack damage back. Gave her that thing she was missing out of her kit so badly. It gave her a reason to go in and be aggressive again. Not only is it extra auto attack damage every time you auto attack someone that is chilled, but it also lowers the cooldown of one of your best abilities. The Blizzard, which was your longest cooldown, but one of your most impactful abilities, now can be used much more often if you're able to actually get in there and auto-attack people while they have the chill effect on them. Because every time we auto-attack, we are lowering the cooldown of Blizzard by 1 second. So in a perfect situation, with a attack speed of exactly 1, you can cut your Blizzard in half for the cooldown that it could have. Now, of course, if you have warriors and a support with you, that becomes much more valuable and a lot easier to do consistently. As you can see, I'm pretty much decided that I'm gonna die whenever I go in, and our team is literally all over the map all the time. So it's kind of hard to decide when I want to go in. Zeratul jumping on me is a little bit hard to deal with as well. We will have some options for that soon. But that simple addition, that simple talent addition, and the simple quest addition changed so many options for this character and made her so much better. I genuinely feel that way. And I hope you guys enjoy playing her too. I really do think she's phenomenal. To me, she was the winner of Gamescom. Like, the changes she received were so much better than everyone else's changes. At least I think so. I am going to go for Numbing Blast here. Cone of Cold on rooted targets will stop them from being able to chase me. It'll root them down. Roots are different from slows because roots stop you from being able to use movement abilities, which means we can stop Zeratul from blinking around the screen, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, could be very, very valuable for us. If she went in with the stun there, I might have been able to do something else, but we'll go ahead and we'll summon in the Water Elemental, and we'll deal some pretty decent damage to this Garrosh here. Now, of course, he's super slowed, so we'll just hit him with everything in the book as the friendly team moves in, and we should be able to clean this up no problem. What Icy Veins does is it gives you 200% reduced cooldown times while the ability is active. So if we hit someone with, if we go ahead and hit that, we can basically root someone twice within the normal cooldown window when we would only be able to do it once before, kind of our burst window. It just accelerates the rate at which you can cast your skills and makes it a lot easier to deal some burst damage, boys. I think I pushed up a little too far, but then again, Zeratul is in the middle of the map right now. So if we just root this guy, I was gonna say he won't be able to jump away, but of course he beat me to the trigger on that one. Looks like we don't have enough coins to turn in again, but I'm gonna go ahead and back because I think Zeratul might be rotating down to kill me. And I want to join my team up top because they want to get camps and go for boss. So we'll just leave that area entirely and try to help them. The enemy team can't turn in right now. If they turn in, it will be getting the top fort. Well, we already have a little bit of core pressure in the middle lane right now. We do finish off our Fingers of Frost quest, which again gives us 10% increased damage on top of our 50% normal frostbite increased damage. So we are going to be hitting quite hard right now. We'll go ahead and summon in our water elemental here, and that should be able to finish Zeratul off. The water elemental, fun fact, was the first pet added into the game that you could micro, which means that you can tell it what to fucking do. Up until Jaina was added into the game, every pet that you summoned in, including the Gargantuan, the Ultralisk, and maybe a couple more that I can't think of right now. Just start it. We have numbers. Go. What are you doing? We could just do it. We don't need debate. It's whatever. Clear. All right, he doesn't fucking understand what a fucking 4v5 is. That's all right. It's all right. We're chilling. We're chilling. The chests are up. I'll just let him do top. Zeratul's dead. Garrosh is dead. So I'm not really that afraid of anyone else left on the map right now. Let's see if she wants to contest me. I think we win that fight. Cassia gains a lot of physical armor if she's moving, but she doesn't gain any magical armor, which should mean that I have the advantage there. So basically, when you take everything I've said and add it together, what you're left with is a mage that is capable of doing a very, very good job of pushing lanes, as you saw at the beginning of the game. On Blackheart's Bay, I was able to fulfill like Zul or Zagara or Gul'dan's role of soaking XP in both top and middle so my team could push bottom aggressively. Now, did the team push bottom aggressively enough? I don't really fucking know. I wish I had Ice Block, man. I wish I had that quest done. I opened up on him with as much damage as I could, and Valera came in for the assist. Thank you very much, Valera. But if we had Ice Block there, we would have been totally fine. We just dropped Blizzard right on top of us and then Ice Block ourselves out of the damage that Zeratul was going to be doing. We are almost done with our quest, but the fact that I was avoiding team fights for the first half of the game did put us really, really far behind here. We also have Ice Blink back in at level 20. I believe we lost Blink altogether. But Ice Blink is a variation of Bolt of the Storm. Rather than just traveling that set distance, we are able to chill the targets around us when we teleport in. This, of course, procs all of our bonuses from our other effects. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good talent. It's real good. Allows you to combo people even faster. All right, Stitch is turning in. We have top with this objective, so we should push in bottom as hard as we can. I'll go ahead and ping the shit out of this, hopefully get people moving over that way. Cassia doesn't like us being here. We'll go ahead and pop all of our cooldowns and try to burst her down. The blink there was honestly completely accidental. I'm not gonna lie to you, didn't mean to do that blink at all. Let's see if we can finish off Garrosh here. We sure can. Telling the water elemental to go in on the Zebo. Unfortunately, he's pretty far away at this point, so I don't think we're gonna be able to get him. Oh, Varian! Oh, Varian! You're going in deep, Varian! Fuck, I'm going in pretty deep too. I didn't see the Zebo spiders on me. We should be able to push in and win the game here. Everyone on the enemy team is dead for quite some time. So we should be okay. So, if I had to pick a winner for reworks in the past year, I would say that winner is Jaina. She's still a shadow of her former self, what she used to be when she was added into the game, because she was the most overpowered piece of shit that the world has ever seen. But she's in a great spot. She has great build variety. You can still go for the tried and tested Q abilities to keep people back, keep them at bay. Or you could go for cooldown reduction on your W and clear waves really quick. Combos great with stuns that your team may have. Let's say you have an ETC or a Tyrande or Uther. Putting a W on top of that target is a great way of dealing bonus damage. And the way in which she deals her damage feels fun and unique to her because it's like a combo system where you're trying to get the most out of each spell, but comboing it with another, not just wasting them. That being said, I played like shit. Oh God, but we were still competitive with everyone on our team. That's scary. But yeah, feel free to give her a try. She's really, really, really good. We have Fingers of Frost at level 1, Frost Armor at level 4, Ice Fury Wand at level 7. I went for Summon Water Elemental. This has a 60-second cooldown now, so you can use this thing all the time. Ring of Frost is still better for going for full burst potential, but Summon Water Elemental is basically ready every time you need it. Icy Veins for the cooldown reduction that I didn't really use at all. Numbing Blast, the idea was to keep Zeratul at bay, but after I picked it, he stopped attacking me entirely. And Ice Blink just as a way to correct for mistakes. But inevitably, I just used it on accident to go into a fight. Shouldn't have had all that alcohol at dinner. Woo! All right, everybody, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Up next, we are going to have Johanna? Yeah. And I'll see you all next time.